thank you for joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show. I am Nikki Maduro. Kim McAllister is going to be joining us in just a few minutes. I did not want to wait for her, not because I'm mean. She is rushing. It's Halloween, so we're going to be forgiving because we all have Halloween plans, but she is going to be here, so don't worry about her. And her husband is making her a cocktail. And David, I know that you're going to do it. My husband's making me a cocktail. I am a minion. Oh, there she is. Take your time, sweetie. Get all situated. I am a minion, which apparently was the most popular costume ever, because when I went to the Spirit store, there wasn't even any like minion stuff there. I had a friend looking for these goggles that thankfully my daughter bought like months ago when she went to a concert. I am not Scuba Steve. I am a minion. I'm a minion. I'm not going to put them on.
You're not Scuba Steve.
I'm not Scuba Steve. This is my cocktail. Are you ready, my friend? Thumbs up. She's getting beautiful. Just let me know when you're ready. I am a minion. I'm a very cute minion. I got these really cute overalls that goes with it. Okay. Are you ready? We're doing it. There she is. Hello. Okay.
You are so adorable. Look at you.
Don't I look really, really cute?
Oh my God, you're cute.
Dude, I bought these overalls. And I'm not going to stand up because then you can't hear me. No, I don't know. I'm just really cute. I looked really cute in these overalls. I'm just going to let you know, I bought 3 pairs of overalls before I found them that fit me, because I just wanted ones that I would wear again. These are really comfortable and I love them. And I'm going to wear overalls all the time. Happy Halloween. Happy Diwali.
Happy Halloween. Oh, here comes my cocktail.
Your husband's been texting me all day about that cocktail, or not all day.
But is this the kamikaze?
Go slow. Yes.
Got it. Go slow, he said.
No, not over the computer. Take a
seat. This is the kamikaze.
Not over the computer.
From the Red Jack Saloon, not over the computer.
Cheers, my friends. Happy cocktails and news. This is the last Nikki Maduro show before the election, so drink deep.
That does not taste like hard liquor. Oh my God. Lori Above the Bar has made a drink with hard alcohol in it that this one will knock you on your rear end. Wow. Is that ever good?
This time
yeah.
Put a little effervescence in
What's
there.
in that?
Yeah.
That is sour.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Hey, what is it?
It's sour mix, which is lemon and lime.
Okay.
Splash of triple sec.
Mm-hmm.
Vodka. Okay. Shaken. And then you put a splash of
shaken, not stirred,
fizzy water to give it a little effervescence. And it's got a lime and a lemon, twist of lime and a twist of lemon in it.
Wow, that's fancy. I know. That's like an $18 cocktail. What is it?
There you go.
$8 at the Red Jack.
Yeah, I mean, your husband sent me some pictures of making that cocktail. I have my old fashioned for my husband. Thank you, my husband. Okay, do you want to see my son? Hold on. Can you make it over here? My son is in his costume right behind me. Come here, Dillbug. So there he is. He's got like that like weird.
Is it the old doctor beak?
Yeah, like that old like whatever.
Oh, he looks so good.
Love you. Okay, so bye. Yeah, he's all ready to go. Trick or treating. Yes, I mean it's like one of my favorite holidays because they're just so cute, right? So
I did something because I wanted to come on the show with you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Petaluma has this whole downtown thing. I mean, it's a madhouse downtown right now.
Oh yeah,
there are people all over the place. They have a big trick or treating thing. I dropped him off by himself.
Good. I mean, he's old enough. Come on now.
He has a little watch, it's one of those watches. I forget what it's called. Not an Apple Watch, but it's a watch that you could buy from Verizon, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so he's supposed to call me he'll call my husband every so often.
Right.
Check in with him, make sure he's okay, and then we have a meeting place all arranged.
Okay.
He went down there and immediately found people he knew.
Sweet.
So it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, all I'm saying is Halloween is a time where you can hang out with your friends. You know what I mean? And go eat free candy. I'm sorry. Eat free candy. I love it. I love it. I love it. So everybody be safe. I told my son he's going to be walking with some friends around the block. You know what I mean? Look out for cars because he has that stupid mask on. Ricky's handing out candy. So I'm really hoping that the doorbell doesn't keep ringing, but we're going to get it done. So it's going to be a little bit of a shorter show because we're going to be doing Halloween, but this is the last one. I will be joining. Oh, by the way, on Tuesday, Mark Thompson is doing the Mark Thompson Show We are friends, obviously old KGO friends. Mark Thompson is doing a show. Let's promote this, right? So it's going to be an evening show. I will be dropping in on the Mark Thompson show on Tuesday evening, which is election night. But this is the last Nikki Maduro show before election night. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. But I was seeing in the comments before the show started, Kim, who was it? Eric was saying, everybody's just really ready for this election to be over.
It's, you know, what's interesting.
I'm ready for it to be over.
There's like one of two things is going on. Either you're totally done. I was looking for the picture I have of the thing.
I'm done.
Either you're totally done and you're like, I cannot take any more.
I'm done.
And or, and this in the middle of all this, you're stressed out, regardless of which way you're going to vote, right?
Right.
Or you can't absorb enough information. Yeah. You're looking at polls, you're looking at stuff.
It's not healthy.
You're absorbing all the information in the run up to this election. We've had more viewers, live viewers on the Mark Thompson show because I think people, they're just looking for politics right now.
Yeah. I just feel like, and I love that. Like if they're just looking for like politics and you're just absorbing that, that's okay. That's, if you're just like the politics nerd, okay, that's one thing. My problem is if you're just doom scrolling, right? Like if it's becoming this absorbing of the nastiest, grossest part. Like obviously over the last week, it's gotten so incredibly nasty. Everything from the Madison Square Garden rally of Donald Trump with the, and I'm half Puerto Rican. So, literally calling Puerto Rico.
What did your mom say about that? Did you ask your mom?
I didn't even know. No, because again, we don't talk about politics with my parents.
Puerto Rico, you would think she'd have an opinion.
Nope. Not even broaching, Kim.
Okay.
Not even broaching the subject. You want to know why? Because I don't want to be disappointed by the answer. Does that make sense? Because in 2016, when I thought I would get a certain response from a parent regarding a grab them by the pee comment, I got the most disappointing response that I never want to get from a parent ever again, that I'm not even going to go there. So I was disappointed. I told my husband and he's like, dude, that's his kind of comedy. I don't understand. This is what was my thing. And I posted this on X and I had responded to another Puerto Rican Trump supporter. And because I had said it on her feed, I got like thousands of responses to me, which was just a little overwhelming, right? And I said, look, I'm Puerto Rican too. Explain the joke though. Like this is what I equated it to. Okay.
It wasn't even funny.
It wasn't funny. This is what I equated to. Okay. So because remember, yes, they have a garbage problem, right? Okay. So I understand where people are trying to explain the joke, but I took it like this. Imagine you and I are walking together. Okay. And you step in a pile of dog poop. Okay. By accident. It's not your fault. And I look at you and I go, ha ha, you're a piece of S. Because that's basically what the joke is that Puerto Rico, by something of its not own doing, it's something that happened to it, right? Like now you're calling it a piece of garbage? Like, where's the joke? Where is the joke? And so, yes, it was stupid, and we can. And now Donald Trump is trying to capitalize on it by driving a garbage truck and wearing a garbage outfit all the time, which is so stupid, but so Trump. So this is the thing, like, and then I showed you this, and I'm not going to play it because again, it's this doom scrolling. But I had showed you the video of CNN where the guy, was again joke. I hope your beeper doesn't go off.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, it's just ridiculous. And again, things that are trying to be explained away as jokes and not what I meant. And that's the reason I'm done, Kim. Nobody's minds are being changed. Within the handful of days that we have left, there's nothing I'm going to watch. There is nothing I'm going to hear. There's no conversation I'm going to have that is going to change anything.
No.
And this is the other thing, Kim. We're not going to know on Tuesday.
Unless
it's an effing landslide, which I'm hoping for.
You know what we will know on Tuesday? we will be able to watch what happens at the polls as far as whether anyone's trying to keep the federal election monitors out, whether anyone's trying to scoop in and do some, unsavory shenanigans. We might know some things about that.
Right. So, I mean, there's been a number of more than 100 lawsuits have already been filed, and this election hasn't even happened yet. Right. So the Republican Party has filed lawsuits after lawsuits. And here's why. I read one line and it was saying it's easier to have votes stripped away before they're counted than after, right? That's what the GOP and Donald Trump has learned. Once they're already in, it's hard not to count them, right? So now what they're trying to do, that was like in Pennsylvania where they tried to say that the military, right? The overseas military, they're trying to make those not count. It's easier to say those shouldn't be counted than after they're already in the box. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to, and now in some states, they're trying to say that those monitors, like you were talking about, Kim, shouldn't be allowed. Now in 2022, which we may not remember because it was so crazy, there were some states that did not allow federal monitors, because we do also have to remember these are state-run elections. Every state runs their own election. In Arkansas in 2022, they didn't allow federal monitors, the DOJ, inside the elections. They can be outside. So this is what we need to remember. If I'm let's say I'm a Democratic voter, right? Like I vote Democrat, and I go inside the election hall or wherever, and then I come out, I could report that there's something wrong going inside.
Sure.
But they can't be inside there. And that's because these are state-run elections. Now, of course, why? I would ask myself, why does this seem to happen in red-leaning states? Like, why? Wouldn't they want everybody watching over these elections? If they feel like there's something nefarious going on, why wouldn't we want all the sunshine in, right? Like, what are you hiding?
Yeah.
What do you think's going on? But again, they don't trust the DOJ because the DOJ is obviously a democratically appointed, they think, Department of Justice. So that's why. I don't know, Kim. I did love what you texted me though earlier about what you've started to do. Do you want to tell people what you've started to do?
What did I say?
That you started to do something that you never do.
Oh. So you guys know me in religion, right? Like it's non-existent. I was not raised in a religious fashion. But sometimes in the dead of night, my people, when there's something really important, I'll lay down a prayer. And that's what I've been doing. I'm praying to God. I seriously am, like, I don't know how to pray, but I'm trying to pray. And I've been praying. Like, dear God, if you're listening, which probably is like, they're right there. It's a question of faith. So I'm probably out of the running already.
Right.
Dear God, if you're really there, please.
6 pounds.
Please. Please. I just don't know what will happen to us. And there will be people that say, oh, it's not going to be that bad. We've been through things before. We've been through civil wars. We've been through bad presidents before.
Yes.
We'll come out the other side of it. But when he starts talking about, and I looked it up, did Donald Trump really say he wants to suspend the Constitution?
Okay.
He did not. Do you know what he said?
What did he say?
He said he wants to terminate the Constitution.
It's even worse.
Even worse.
It's even worse.
It was 2021 or 22 when he made these comments, but you don't talk about terminating the Constitution without getting my back raised. That's not, there's chaos breaking out. We need martial law. Nobody's rights are going to be protected right now because we need to, maintain order on the streets. Even that doesn't compute to me. This is, I want to terminate the Constitution because there's some type of cheating afoot, or there's some type of thing that I don't agree with that's happening that half the country says that's not even true.
Yeah.
So it makes me so nervous that someone could get into office, as Kamala Harris so rightly says, stand behind the seal of the President of the United States and not believe in the Constitution.
Yeah.
Above, and this is hard for me to say, But above our rights as women, above anything, if we don't have an America, we don't have anything else. All the rest of it, it's toast. So if that isn't your key, if that isn't your the pinnacle of issues before you, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
Honestly, I've heard people say, lovely people that I adore, well, my issue is the war in Gaza, and the Biden and Harris haven't done anything to make it stop, or they're sending money to Israel, my tax money to. We're not going to have your tax money. We're not going to have the choices or the people to lobby against doing that. We're not going to have anything. And maybe again, perhaps I'm overreacting. My husband is something of a presidential history buff, and he's read a book on every president. He's got a huge presidential library going. And he's pointed out that we've had some awful presidents, like really bad, rivaling as bad as Trump. And somehow we've made our way through. Somehow.
But this is the difference. And this is why I worry. And I'm gonna side with you a little bit, friend. The reason why I worry is because, one, there's more of us. There's just more people, right? And two, we have more nuclear weapons. I think that social media, the internet, the spread of misinformation, what it does to people's psyche, the cultish behavior, January 6th, what that did. Let's play a little bit of Michelle Obama's speech, because she kind of talks about this and just what you were talking about. And it's a little long, but again, I think we want to be inspired right now. Again, because this is what we're talking about. We can listen to Donald Trump and all of his ilk, but I think between Michelle Obama, and I'll be playing a little bit of Kamala's speech, because again, inspiring words instead of, just hate-filled rhetoric. But she kind of talks about what you're talking about, Kim.
That there are a lot of angry, disillusioned people out there, upset with the slow pace of change. And I get it. It is reasonable to be frustrated. We all know we have a lot more work to do in this country. But to anyone out there thinking about sitting out this election or voting for Donald Trump or a third-party candidate in protest because you're fed up, let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. So are you as men prepared to look into the eyes of the women and children you love and tell them that you supported this assault on our safety? And to the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Have to use our voices to make these choices clear to the men that we love. Our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment. And we are more than just baby-making vessels. And if you are a woman who lives in a household of men that don't listen to you or value your opinion, just remember that your vote is a private matter. Regardless of the political views of your partner, you get to choose. You get to use your judgment and cast your vote for yourself and the women in your life. Remember, women, standing up for what is best for us can make the difference in this election. So let us use our voices in these final days to make it plain to the men in our lives that we need to stand not with Trump, but with us. We need them to vote for the only candidate in this race who will protect our lives. We need them to vote for Kamala Harris. Kamala, she will fight to restore our reproductive freedoms and defend our health. Kamala will fight for our access to life-saving emergency care and maternal care in every state. Kamala will veto any abortion ban or bill that restricts access to contraception or IVF. Kamala will expand access to birth control and abortion pills. And she will do all of this not because she's a woman, but because she's a decent human being. She will do this because she cares about the lives of people other than herself. And that's really what this election is about, Michigan. This isn't just about what we have an obligation to say no to. It's about what we have the opportunity to say yes to. And we can elect someone who has the experience, the character, and the strength to look at all these challenges and still see a brighter day on the other side. Kamala Harris will see us, all of us. Kamala Harris will listen to us, all of us. She will protect our freedom. She'll stand up for all of our lives. She will have our backs for the folks trying to get ahead and those just trying to get by. And in doing so, she will usher in a new generation of American leadership and send the ugliness of Donald Trump and his politics back where it belongs, the past. But Michigan, she cannot do any of this alone. So I'm asking you one last time, let us not just sit around and complain. Let's do something. If your brother or your son or boyfriend needs to hear your perspective, are you willing to talk to them? Are you willing to send a video of what I've just said? Are you willing to do something? If you have an aunt who's thinking about sitting this one out or voting for a third party, are you willing to have an uncomfortable conversation? Are you willing to do something? If you have an extra hour or extra weekend, are you willing to knock on doors and talk to your neighbors? Are you willing to do something? Look, Michigan, we've just got 10 more days to make it happen.
Less now.
To wave goodbye to the incompetence and hatred and division. 10 more days to welcome in a leader with the character and the heart and the strength worthy of the office she seeks and worthy of the country that we all love. Michigan, let's give Kamala everything we've got. Can we get this done? Can we get this done, Michigan? We need you, every last one of you. Get this done. Get this done. And now, it is my pleasure to welcome to this stage the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
From your lips to God's ears. My
She
goodness.
is so good. She is so good.
She really is.
One of the things she was saying before this part of the speech was that the Trumpian abortion laws are not only affecting young women. I've heard it said young women just need to be more responsible with their sexual health. We need to close our legs, right? Not me. I'm now probably too old to have kids.
Not like there's not men between those legs, but whatever.
Yeah, but it would be a miracle. Exactly what you said. So I've heard it said that it's all on women, that we need to be more careful. We need to be more responsible. What she said is because of these Trumpian abortion laws, and call them Trumpian laws. Please call them Trumpian laws. I don't care what state passed it. They wouldn't be able to unless he did what he did, and he has bragged about it.
Exactly.
So these Trumpian laws have made doctors scared, and they don't now want to practice in these states because they could be prosecuted and they could lose their medical licenses, which took years for them to get.
Exactly.
And so they're packing it up and
they're leaving. Yes, Idaho. Right? My friend in Idaho, she's like, I can't find a doctor out
Thank
here.
you.
Yes.
So what does that mean? That means that when you go for your yearly exam, you're probably not going to be able to find a doctor to do a pap smear. Or if you do, they're not very experienced or whatever. Right. Or you might have a cancer diagnosis that's missed because your OBGYN is non-existent.
Yeah.
You might have a lump and you need care. You're not going to get the care that you need. You're not going to get someone, when you go in for your yearly exam, sorry if it's TMI, but they palpate your abdomen to see if there's any masses near your ovaries, near whatever. All of these things, if you're not an OBGYN, you probably have some experience, but a lot less. Right. So there could be things that get missed. There could be people that are misdiagnosed. Women of all ages, all the way up to, the end of the line are going to be affected because of these Trumpian laws, because doctors are closing up shop. So if you think it only affects young women, it affects everyone.
It affects everybody.
And
Absolutely.
he has said, Trump, that he won't pass a national abortion ban. I don't believe him. I don't believe anything.
I don't believe anything. Yes.
He will do whatever he wants to do to make his base happy. Yep. And if that means passing a national abortion ban, that's what it means. Yeah. He can't run again. So this is it. Right?
He's going to do whatever he wants to do.
He doesn't owe us anything now. He can do whatever he wants to do. And that means people in states like California would be at risk. So we are one presidential vote away from being at risk of all of this. Yeah. And I'm not okay with it.
Absolutely not.
Who in the ever-living world says this guy gets to control my health?
Exactly. And who believes anything that comes out of his mouth? He lied about the last election. He lied about the last election so much that people still, to this day, believe that that the last election was stolen, even though he never proved it. Ever. He never came through with any evidence at all. So much so that they're still believing it. Never produced the evidence. And I was talking to my husband about this literally just yesterday. And I was saying the only reason he's running is because if he loses, he is so screwed. Yep. Jack Smith has so much evidence on this guy. He is so
what did Coach Kerr say? Night, night.
Yeah. He is so screwed. The only way out is by winning this election. That is the only thing that saves his ass. And if people don't realize that, I mean, they're just absolute fools. It's the only reason he's running. If you think Donald Trump is running because he cares about the United States of America, you're smoking something. And yes, I did see, Louise, thank you so much for the $5 donation. What's up with Nick Bosa? Oh, now listen, any Niner fan knows that Nick Bosa is totally a huge MAGA. And he's a chicken shit, by the way. If you paid attention, he ruined National Tight Ends Day, which was George Kittle's made-up holiday. He was sitting there, and just totally infiltrated Brock Purdy's interview. And then by pointing at this stupid "Make America Great Again" hat. And then when he could actually say something and back it up, which is what everyone was saying at the press conference afterwards. Oh, I don't want to talk about it, but it's just an important time. And he's a chicken shit. He's total chicken shit. So, Nick Bosa, whatever. He just wanted attention. He's like all MAGAs, there's just nothing there though. Like, whatever. But anybody that knows Nick Bosa knows that he's a MAGA. It's just whatever. I wasn't surprised by it at all. But yeah, that's just what they do. And if he thinks that Donald Trump gives two licks about him or America, he's smoking something. And yeah, he took too many hits to the head. But, I love the fact that he was able to do the, sack Dak Prescott. He's a Niner, like whatever, but he's an idiot. Absolutely.
Vicky says, as a registered nurse, I would help my patients even so, but I'd be scared.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reality, but you're also living in California, and that's awesome. Louise, thank you for the $2 donation. And we are so happy to be here on this Halloween. I know it's weird to be talking in my Minions costume about Donald Trump. But again, we wanted to do this Halloween show because it's scary times and it's Halloween. And it just really, I'm optimistic. And this is the Pollyanna of me. I was telling Kim, we're always texting back and forth. I just feel like there's so many Republicans who are saying they're going to vote for Trump that aren't. I don't believe the polls. I never believe polls. After 2016, I've never believed polls, right? I think, and I think that 2020 should have shown you that as well, because Donald Trump totally believed polls and he lost, right? Like he thought he was going to completely win and he didn't. And I was scared out of my mind in 2020 and Biden won. I really think there are so many people exhausted by Donald Trump, but can't say it out loud. And so this is why I think, and I hope and I pray, and I do pray all the time, even outside of elections, that it's going to be a landslide for Kamala. I really do. I feel it in my soul. I don't want to be naive, but I'm holding on to it. I really am. I just feel like, and yes, I understand that all the polls show that it's really, really close. I understand that.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it. And my husband, and this is also me. There's a part of me, and I said this also to James. I was like, I wish I was one of those people, even though I could never be because of who I am, that didn't care. I know there's people that just live this world.
I don't do politics.
Yeah, I don't, or not, not even like their mind and their life is so busy with other things. They don't even know what's going on. Like, I wish I was that like clueless sometimes. I was like, I wonder what that world would be like if I was so clueless that I didn't even know what the hell was going on. You know, like, I don't know that. I wonder what the world would be like. I don't know. It just seems, not that I could ever be that way, and it's dangerous to be that way, not that I would want to, but how freeing that must be at this point in time to live in a world where you didn't have this fear, right? Of, I don't know, Kim. It's just, I don't want it. I want to be okay. Okay. I'm going to play something though that's going to make you feel better. Okay.
I have something that'll make you feel worse. You want to see that before you feel better?
Okay, well, this was going to make you feel better about that our elections are going to be secure, but you go ahead. What's your thing?
I have a doozy. Did you see this whole thing where Trump goes into his garbage suit today?
Okay, well, the garbage suit I've seen, but I didn't play any of Donald Trump, but go ahead. Let's go
So he goes into his garbage suit.
It is Halloween, so he's wearing his costume. So
and he goes to this rally, okay? And when he goes to the rally, he has this to say about women.
My people told me about 4 weeks ago, I would say, no, I want to protect the people. I want to protect the women of our country. I want to protect the women. Sir, please don't say that. Why? They said, we think it's very inappropriate for you to say. I said, why? I'm president. I want to protect the women of our country. They said.
Because you're full of crap is why they don't want you to say it. That's why.
They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say, pay these guys a lot of money. Can you believe it? I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them. I'm going to protect them from migrants coming in. I'm going to protect them from foreign countries.
Pause. And let's just talk about what he said. I'm going to protect women whether the women like it or not.
He's full of crap.
Whether we like it or not. No. We're not going to do anything to women, whether women like it or not. We're not going to grab them by the pee. We're not going to force them to have your protection. We're not going to force them to not have health care.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Can you believe he said that? We're going to, whether the women like it or not. Really?
But that's like, is that Newsom's line too? Whether you like it or not.
It was bad when Newsom said it, and it's bad when Trump says it.
Lots of other things.
What is up with the orange? Like, his face is getting even more orange.
Well, he's wearing an orange vest, so.
But it's really bad. I mean,
I know, it's totally bad.
It's getting worse. Is he sick? Is there something he's hiding? Like, I don't know. It is just really, really bad. The whole garbage outfit is just ridiculous. I know, and I saw Joe Blow that you think it's brilliant. It's so lame. Again, this isn't time to act. Nobody's, you know why? If the conversation Trump's talking about is actually a real conversation, which who knows if it is, the reason why Trump's people said we don't think it's appropriate is because they know you're full of crap. Like, nobody believes Donald Trump that you're going to take care of women. Nobody believes. I would not, again, if it was between all men, bears, and you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like never would choose Donald Trump. Ever in a million freaking years. Like, it's just so stupid.
Did you see the part of this whole thing where he tries to he's speaking in his little orange vest at the garbage place.
Mhm.
And then he tries to get on the garbage truck. Now, I don't think this is that big of a deal, but Tim Walz is making total fun of him for being a little wobbly on the old feet and almost
Well-
face planting as he's
Oh,
getting in the garbage truck.
no. Okay, I mean, I don't know how difficult it is to get on those things.
Garbage. I can tell you who the real garbage is, but we won't say that.
He looks
Garbage.
particularly orange there.
He's so orange lately.
Now here's where he gets a little,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Now granted, the pavement's wet.
Uh-oh.
He has a little struggle getting in the garbage truck.
I mean, I can't imagine those things are easy to get into. I'll give him a
The
little
guy
bit.
is
Right?
he's almost 80 years old, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll give him, I give him breaks where he wouldn't give other people breaks.
No, not at all. Did you see how she wobbled right there? I mean, again,
He's getting in, he's an old man on a slick pavement. I don't, think that's a big deal, but other people think it's a really big deal because it's almost like
all for
he makes such
show.
horrible fun of everyone else.
yeah, he's
that
a bully.
The
That's
minute
why.
there's something to poke fun at, people will, because he's such an absolute jerk, right?
Yeah, he's just a bully. He's an absolute effing bully. And again, I feel like this election has gotten, it's really a weird place where we're at. Like, I always tell ourselves, you were talking about, the country and where we are and how scared you are of where we're going to be. We are a new country in comparison to the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at our history and how long we've been around in comparison to other places, we're new. We are in comparison to other people's history. And I always keep that in mind when I look at, the fall of Rome, which is always what's always mentioned, people's Roman Empire and the fall of Rome. I always think about that. That's why it's called the Roman Empire, and people thinking about that all the time. And I always wonder, is this why? Is it that these things can happen, Luis? Thank you for the $2. Yes, and the coyote wanted to protect the roadrunner. That's really funny. But I always think about, like, does this just happen, to countries? Is that politics kind of devolves and it kind of settles out at plateaus, but that this needs to happen, that it has to have this clash and then we have to settle down again, that we have these kind of buildups and then and we have to do this and then we kind of settle down again. Now, I'm going to play a video before I get to the whole election and we should be secure and all this sort of thing. Josh Shapiro, by the way, he's got quite the potty mouth, I'm just going to say. But I'm
really?
Well, this is the video of him responding to the whole election thing and the monitoring and all sort of stuff. I'm telling you, this is what I'm talking about of, like, is this just where we're at with politics?
A concern about just the other day, some lines that were shut down by, it looked like Democratic operatives who stopped a line in Bucks County. They went to court. What's happening with that?
The issue was resolved, so a legal eligible voter could be counted in this election. And actually, I was pleased to see the Trump campaign acknowledge the work that myself and Secretary Schmidt are doing here in Pennsylvania.
The concern was that there was specifically being cut off. J.D. Vance put on X, this is illegal. Josh Shapiro should do something about these operatives in his own party depriving people of the right to vote. If he doesn't, it's complicit in voter fraud.
Yeah, that's just more bullshit from J.D. Vance. Remember, Brett, the system is run by Republican and Democratic clerks of elections in our 67 counties. It's overseen by my Secretary of State, Brett, who is a Republican. Yeah. I think everybody needs to take a deep breath and understand that it is our fellow Pennsylvanians who are running these elections, and we will again have a free and fair, safe and secure election.
Okay, so that, and I wanted to play that before I played the other video. Now, are you worried? How worried are you about the election and how safe it's going to be? How concerned are you?
So I'm nervous every day up until the results are known that we're going to get a Trump in the White House. I'm nervous every day. I'm on edge.
But I mean, the actual voting.
I'm very nervous about how smoothly this election will run because I have been watching. And what I know to be true is that the Trump folks, the Trump supporters, the Trump campaign,
Mhm.
they have tried to put Republicans in places of election power in cities across America. These are places where the votes need to be certified. And they want the votes not to be certified in a timely fashion to create chaos. I'm worried about that, number one.
Mhm.
I'm worried about people being stripped from the voter rolls
Yeah, I'm
at
worried
this
about
late
that.
date
Yeah.
that then won't have their voices counted, because as Americans, every voice should be counted.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about that. I'm worried about what you talked about voters from overseas, members of the military.
Yeah, well,
crying out loud.
the judge ruled in favor of the military
Come
people, so
on.
those votes are going to be counted. So
Absolutely.
I do
I'm worried
feel like
about
the
no
judges
federal
are doing.
election monitors. I
Yeah.
worry that this whole thing could be kicked to the House of Representatives, which means automatically Trump gets in. I
Yeah.
have a lot of worries about how this could all play out. Absolutely, I do. I try to have faith because I think of Brad Raffensperger. I think of the people in
Yes.
Arizona that stood up the last time. And I know it's different. And I know the people in place in some areas are different now. But I just I have to have faith that there are more true patriotic Americans than there are not. That there are more people that believe in having everyone have a voice, that believe in the Constitution, that believe in the principles of this country than not.
Right.
How dare anyone go to a Trump rally and wave an American flag and pretend to be a patriot if they don't want everyone's voice to count? How
Exactly.
dare they? How
Exactly.
dare they desecrate the flag in such a manner? I would
Right.
rather see it burned during a protest with a right to free
Absolutely.
speech than I would have the insult of it being waved at someone in joy that would want to terminate the Constitution. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm worried. I'm worried about this election in general.
All right. Well, I'm going to play something for you about the voting and the election and how our votes are secure. Because this is the thing, and I'm just going to kind of build on what you were talking about. So even if there are people that are counting the ballots, right? And even if they're Trumpies, this is what I don't think is going to happen. Okay. So let's just say I'm a Trumpy person, right? And I have all these ballots. I think that still the ballots inside they can't change. Does that make sense?
Wait,
Like,
say it again.
I feel like they still think that the ballots that they're going to have are going to be for Trump, right? So they could strip all they have or whatever. But the ballots that they have are still going to be the votes, right? That are going to be for either Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. So while I understand your fear of stripping votes, which obviously we can't stop, right? That's a huge fear. I can't stop that. I can't. What I have faith in is that there are going to be enough votes for Kamala Harris. Okay. So this is why I want to play this video for you, is that I put faith in that there's not going to be vote changing. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Because I'm thinking one for Trump, poof, one for Kamala, throw that one out. One for
so
Trump.
you think there's going to be actual vote changing?
Ooh, why don't they want the election monitors in? Why don't they want people to see what's really happening?
Well, I mean, that's quite the conspiracy so you definitely think that
they're cheaters. They tried to have a fake slate of electors. It's not
going to be all Republicans inside that. You understand that, right?
I hope not.
I mean, that's quite.
What if it's a red state? What if all the people are, or most of them?
I mean, that's.
I don't know.
That's a big conspiracy right there.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying I have fears that it might.
Okay,
I'm saying I don't trust them as a whole.
All right. Well, let me just play you this, and then let's see how you feel after this. Here we go.
I understand why some Americans have questions, because they've been subjected for years to a fire hose of disinformation, and it has undermined confidence in the election systems and in our democratic institutions. But I have spent so much time on the ground over the past 3+ years with state and local election officials who are on the front lines of running and managing and defending election infrastructure. And I can tell you, I have incredible confidence that our election infrastructure has never been more secure, and election officials have never been better prepared to deliver safe and secure and free and fair elections.
But even as the director expressed confidence in people's ability to vote without any tampering whatsoever, she did express concern about the dangerous threat environment we find ourselves in and the safety of election workers.
So remember, we're America's cyber defense agency, so we take a technical approach when we're talking about the security of our infrastructure, and in this case, the facts really matter. So first, important to understand, the voting machines that Americans use to cast their ballot are not connected to the internet. So great source of protection there, very hard to hack something that is completely offline. Second, a lot of talk about paper ballots during this election cycle. The fact is, over 97% of registered voters will cast their ballot in jurisdictions where they'll get a paper record that they themselves can verify. That's incredibly important. And you have paper in all of the battleground states. Third, multiple layers of safeguards have been put in place. I'm talking cybersecurity protections, physical access controls, pre-election testing of equipment, and then post-election audit. All of those layers of security put in place to protect that election infrastructure from compromise. And that's why I have such great confidence.
Who is that lady? Oh, you're muted. She makes me feel better.
That's what I was hoping to get. So
but
she
who
is the
that
director
lady?
of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. It's called
Okay.
CISA. So her name is Jen Easterly, and they're in charge of election security. That's their job. And so she was talking to ABC. And so that's what I'm saying is that all these people that like to sow this dis and misinformation, they don't know any of this. They're just like, oh no, they're handing a mint to somebody, and that just means they're changing hundreds of votes. It's like you're an asshat. You don't understand anything about any sort of security. You're thinking it's that easy. And that's what they don't understand. Like, people don't understand how many layers of protection there is in elections. And that is why when Donald Trump said, find me, they couldn't, because it wasn't there. The audits and the paper and all of that, it wasn't effing there. That's why. That's why all of those lawsuits. That's why they couldn't find the effing evidence, because it wasn't there. And so that's what gives me comfort. You know what I mean?
I just want people to watch. I want monitors to oversee. I want people to just be there checking the list and checking it twice. I want it to be so that none of us can say anyone cheated, that anyone did something untoward. That's what I want. And so now when you have Republicans saying, we don't want the monitors in, we don't want this, we don't want that, it gives me pause.
Yeah.
I don't believe Trump when he says, oh, they're cheating. But there is some section of what he says that seeps into the consciousness to that, well, if they're cheating, then they could be cheating, then this could be cheating, right? I don't believe they cheated, that the election process as a whole last time was untoward or invalid. I believe that everything was fine. So if they did it last time, they did it this time. I know in California, I feel really good about my ballot. We put it in the Dropbox. The next day, I got a message from the California Registrar of Voters via the Sonoma County Registrar that says, we have received your vote and it has been counted.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I got a notice. They're like, we're still waiting for your I was like, I'm turning it in on election day. Get off me. Louise says, you should have total trust in GOP integrity and sense of fairness. We would never cheat. Love, George Santos. Obviously, sarcasm. I love you. Thank you again for the $5 donation, Louise. Yeah. Look, I think that Donald Trump, by the way, only thinks there's cheating if he loses. And I know John, I think it was John, if Kamala wins, well, fine. If Trump wins, will you accept the results? Here's what I'm going to say. I will believe in the election as long as there's nothing nefarious going on, just like Trump says, right? I mean, look, the truth of the matter is I'm not going to January 6th anything. The truth of the matter is I'm not. Okay? It is what it is, what it is. That's the truth. I would never storm the effing Capitol over Donald Trump. You know what I will do? I will fight any sort of invasion on my constitutional rights.
Absolutely.
I'll do that. Hell yeah. I'm not storming the effing Capitol, though. Friggin' high.
Here's the question with this,
Mhm.
okay? A lot of us have family members
Mhm.
that have somehow turned Trumpian, right?
Yes.
And Cheryl says this. My daughter and son-in-law dressed up as Trump and fake news for their big Halloween party in Arizona.
Oh, I wish I
Wish I
could
could
see
attach
it.
the picture. Oh
Oh,
my God. It's caused all kinds of problems. She's sick over it, right? She's blocking her. She's not talking to her. She says in another chat that I forgot to put a star by. But it's this type of thing. Do you think that after the election,
you could forgive?
that somehow we'll be able to put this behind us and to say, listen, I know that we disagreed on politics. I know that we still might, but why don't we see how this goes, right? Why don't we, instead of saying she's awful and nothing's, going to be right, why don't we say, let's give her a shot? And why don't we just put politics aside and have our relationship again? We're talking about a mother and her 25-year-old daughter.
Okay, so replace she with he, and could you
Yeah.
do it? Could you do it if it was instead of she, a he?
Well,
What if-
my father-in-law doesn't talk to me
I know.
because he thinks I'm part of the evil
So
media.
if your father-in-law, if Trump won
Mhm.
and your father-in-law says, why don't we just put it aside and see how he does, Kim? What would you say?
I would say we have no choice, apparently.
Right.
Right?
Do you talk to your father-in-law?
No, I don't.
You don't talk to him at all? If he's in front of your face,
Well,
you don't say anything to
He
him?
lives in Southern California, so we don't see him
You
very
don't see him
often.
that much. Okay.
What
Well,
I
that's hard.
What I can say I feel guilty about is that his dislike of me for being a member of the media, because we had a great relationship
Right.
before that. I mean, it was
Right.
fine. But the minute Trump started putting a target on the backs of the media, then all of a sudden I was the bad guy. All right. What I felt bad about is that maybe that has led to some type of distance between my husband and his dad. And I
Oh,
don't want to
yeah.
be
That's awkward.
responsible for that. It is. Well, it makes
Right.
me feel sad because
Yeah.
I don't want to be the reason that he doesn't have a relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
But my husband tells me that wouldn't be the reason, that it's not because of that. And he says any man that doesn't stand up for his wife isn't a real man anyway.
I love him.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you guys know that my dad's a Trumper. So,
Yep.
And I love my dad. I mean, I see my dad every day. I'm going to be seeing my dad in about 15 minutes. We don't talk politics. My dad is 84 years old. I am not using the, I love it. Great Halloween costume.
He's a stick man, a stick
I
figure.
love it. I'm not using the last whatever years I have with my dad.
Thank you.
Don't
Don't drink that. It's alcohol. Don't drink it.
I mean, I hope I have 15, 20 more years with my dad.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many more years I have with my dad. I love my dad.
Yeah.
I am, and I've told him this to his face. I am so disappointed in where he stands politically. And I've said that to his face ad nauseum. I no longer say it. He knows exactly how I feel, but I'm not going to waste any more breath trying to convince a Trumper that they're wrong. So, but I love my father.
Absolutely.
We are so similar in so many ways, except sadly in this. And it disappoints me because there's so many things as a 40-something-year-old woman I would love to talk to my dad about that I can't because we obviously fundamentally disagree about things. And it breaks my heart.
My dad and I
cried about that, but
my dad and I used to have the best political conversations.
Yeah.
I think my dad is so smart and he's so curious about things. And I've always loved the way he's thought about things. And there was a point when I started becoming educated, having my own thoughts, that I broke away from that. But the conversations that we've still had have been really, really good until maybe a year or so ago. And then he said, I really don't want to talk politics.
Yeah.
And so, and if I try to bring it up, I get a nothing, big nothing burger. And so I'm feeling like
Dad's a cranky old fart.
Yeah, my dad's a cranky old fart. The difference is though,
Yeah.
oh, I'm getting another drink.
Take a sip, 'cause I got some
Hello and good morning.
Take a sip.
The difference is
She's sloshing it all over the place. David, she's going to have to be pulled.
Yeah.
Break.
the difference, well, I'm getting more.
You lightweight.
The difference is though that we still talk to our dad, right? We're not trying to block them. There are
No.
people that the relationship is gone. Like that's it.
Oh, I'm never going to
it's
end my
growth.
relationship with my father. That's
No,
never going to happen.
But can those relationships be put back together? Because it breaks my heart that this ugliness, that this Trump stuff has come between our family and our friends and the people we care about on a day-to-day basis, that he's had this impact on our lives like this.
And I hate him. Donald Trump is the worst thing that's happened to so many relationships. And we've said this before on this show.
Yeah.
How many people have passed away, sadly, and the relationship never was fixed?
No.
And that's sad. Eric says, I've known a lot of supposedly intelligent people that just went on the conservative hate train, and I can't understand it. Yeah. And I've said this so many times, I want politics to become boring again. Like, can we make that the slogan? Make politics boring again? Like, I wanted it to be like just political wonks and the media people had to pay attention to it, right? Like, can we just talk about policy?
Yeah.
Like and I don't mean this in a bad way, where morons thought that they understood what was going on, right? Like, Trump turned my dad into a liberal. Oh, I wish
that's
that
actually kind of good. Yeah.
And somebody asked about my mom. My mom, I don't talk politics with my mom because I think my mom feels torn. My mom was always more liberal than my dad, but then I think she became more conservative because she was stuck with my dad. And now she just yells at both of us to shut the F up. So that's what she does. She refs. Because if anything's brought up, we instantly start yelling because my dad and me are exactly the same. So anyways, like, all I want to say is, because this, again, Tuesday is a handful of days away. We're turning the clocks back, but we're not going back, right? We're not going back, right? We're not going back. We're not. We're not. We're not going back. So on Tuesday evening, I'm going to be on Mark's show. I don't think we're going to know anything. I really, really don't. I don't think we're going to know anything, but Kim believes that we're going to know something about federal monitors or anything nefarious going on.
If you
whatever.
feel like, and if some people have said, we think it's going to be a landslide. We don't think the polling's accurate.
I think so. I think that it's going to be a landslide.
I am true. If it's a landslide.
Oh, I'm hopping on. Oh, if it's an effing landslide.
This election show is requested by the Nikki Maduro show viewers, the Mark Thompson show viewers.
I will
and
call
the After
in
Party
sick
Live
the next
viewers.
day because I will be hammered.
So
if it is a landslide, I will drink all night long. I will, yes.
You're going to be a celebration
celebrating all night. I will
know. I mean, if it goes that way, we might know. The show, by the way, is from 8:30 Pacific to 9:30 Pacific. It's 1 hour.
Yeah, I'll be dropping it. I'll stay on it. Yeah, I'll probably be in. I mean, I have to go to bed because I work the next day, or I won't. Honestly, I will type in.
You know who's going to join us? Gil Gross is coming on. David K. Johnson is coming
Yeah, I'll
on.
come in. I'll start at 8:30.
John Rothman.
Yeah, I'll come in.
Who else do we have? We have David Katz is coming by the show.
Oh, good.
So it'll just be
better for all of us to be together on that show because, like, why split it up, right? So again, that's on Tuesday, and I just listen, you guys. Just breathe. Okay, this is the whole thing. And I always tell Kim this. I'm like, the sun will rise. I remember how I felt in 2016, the day after the election. I was hysterically crying the day Donald Trump was elected. I told my husband that I don't think that I'm going to get as emotional. He looked at me and was like, yeah, you are. If Donald Trump won again, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get as emotional. He's like, yeah, you are. And I was like, I don't, because I'm hardened now. I've dealt with Trump for so many years. I feel like I'm hardened, but I don't think I'm going to have to, because I truly believe that people are not that stupid.
I'm afraid if I let myself have hope that I will feel the same sting of the slap that I did when Hillary Clinton didn't get elected. And I don't want to let myself hope because I don't want to let myself feel that depressed.
It is different this time. I feel like it's different this time because people assumed with Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? Like, there was this assumption that, of course Hillary Clinton's going to win. No one would vote for Donald Trump. It was, we were naive, Kim. Yeah. And then in 2020, we weren't naive. And now I feel like there's no going back. So no, we're not going back. People are, and the only way that, again, I am so confident, and I'm gonna think that, yeah, I'm just going to believe and believe and believe. I know, Egel, we've already, whether we're like it or not, Donald Trump can go kick rocks. That's all I am saying. All right, I want to say thank you to people that donated to the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We cannot do the show without you. Luis, thank you. $5 donation. What's up? Oh yeah, Nick Bosa. Thank you for that comment. Yeah, Nick Bosa can kick rocks. And Luis, you've been such a great supporter of the show. Thank you for the $2 donation and another $2 donation and another $5 donation. Luis, you supported the whole entire show this day, and another $5 donation. Here's to bring in the KGO legends together on election night. Wonderful. We will be together no matter what the outcome, grief or celebration. Did you say that John Rothman is going to be on the show?
John Rothman, Gil Gross, you, Mark. I'll
you know
be there.
That John Rothman burned me in 2016, so he better not burn me this time. He better not burn me this time.
We'll see what he says.
I'm not, John Rothman just better not say anything about anything to me. If he needs to, you know what John Rothman needs to do? He needs to make it up to me. That's what he needs to do. That's what it's going to be, Kim. This is going to be John Rothman's redo for me. That's right. What it's going to be. Is this, everyone needs to witness on Tuesday night the redo of John Rothman's, because he promised me in 2016, Nikki, don't worry about it. Don't worry, Nikki. And
we're worried.
He failed me. He totally failed me. So anyways, so join us on Tuesday.
Someone said it in 2016. They said, someone in the chat just said, we didn't know what Trump would really be like.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that we know, maybe that should give us hope that now that we've all been through it, now we know better, right?
All right. Yeah, exactly. All right, you guys, support the show. Please join our Patreon. We cannot do the show and continue the show without you. TheNikkiMadoroShow.com is how you join our Patreon. Anything you could donate, $5 a month, $10 a month. We really do appreciate it. It goes directly to myself and to Kim. TheNikkiMadoroShow.com. Please sign up to be a monthly subscriber. We appreciate it so much. Also, a free way to support the show, give us a thumbs up. Just support the show that way. It's really great. And we also have a delicious way to support the show. And that, of course, is supporting our sponsor, Auntie Tabby's Island Flavors. Her barbecue sauce, it's guava. It's so delicious. Go to AuntieTabby's.com and use our coupon code NIKKIM, NIKKIM. And if you use it, you get 10% off every single time you order. It's so delicious. And a part goes to our show and supports kids in Jamaica. So thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you Tuesday night. Go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to the Red Jack. This
is
please. Kamikaze at the Red Jack Saloon in San Francisco. My husband called, got the recipe. Oh my God, is it my new favorite cocktail? How did they know? The Kamikaze, there's the Maduro Mule, there's the Martini.
Yes.
And they are good. And I'm telling you.
And it's the best bar to go to, by the way, if you're in San Francisco.
Good stuff. And before we go, I do want to throw out that Jeff got a last minute right under the wire.
Thank you, Jeff. We love you, Jeff. Thank you. Also, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, Jeff Bejosa is a realtor also. I'll give you a free plug right there, Jeff. Yeah, he's a realtor.
Oh,
yeah, Jeff. Cool. Yeah, he also sells homes. So if you're looking for a home, well, you're a friend of the show, Jeff. I'll give you a free plug right there.
Drink, he said. Celebratory drink. Where is he a realtor? In South Bay?
Yeah, somewhere down here. Yeah, Santa Clara. I think he's in the Santa Clara area. Awesome. So South Bay Realtor. Thank you, Jeff, so much for the $20 donation to the show as well. We love you guys. We'll see you Tuesday and then Thursday right here. Have a happy Halloween. Make sure to vote. We love you guys so much.
De los Muertos.
Yes, exactly. And Wally, happy Diwali as well. It's also today. We love you guys.
Happy election day. Vote.
Mwah. Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.